I had the air conditioner installed last June. Immediately, my neighbor started complaining about a hum in her bedroom right there. She moved her bed into the living room to sleep because she couldn't stand the hum. I've had the American Standard rep out here. He suggested moving the unit. He checked it with his dB meter. He said there's nothing wrong with it. It's just up to company specs. He suggested moving it. I moved it to the spot that he suggested at a cost of $425. And it doesn't make any difference. It still makes the hum. It's the fan reverberation. It's the design of the fan. It's just the air slap is loud. I would like to get an American Standard rep, not the local rep in Tucson, because I've been through him already. I need somebody to come out here and look at the unit and tell me what I can do to rectify the problem. I mean, if it means getting this thing and throwing it in the junk pile and putting a new one in, well, I don't want to do that. This is the item that I had installed. It's a 4-ton side discharge heat pump and an air conditioner, of course, too. Okay. From the very beginning, after it was installed, my neighbor started complaining about a noise. She called it a hum. She says for months, she didn't even sleep in her bedroom. She put a futon in her living room so she could sleep. So I had the installing rep, installer come out along with the Tucson American Standard rep, and he came out with his little dB meter, and he took some readings. He says everything is fine. He called it good. He says it's the problem with the air discharge. The air discharge was blowing at her wall. Well, it's a common wall. He says that's what's causing this turbulence. So I made a diverter, a 30-inch square diverter, 45-degree angle. I turned it every which way, up, down, left, right. The air was not blowing at her wall anymore. It made no difference. Okay, we tried a 4x8 sheet of plywood to try to change the sound direction. Nothing worked, zero. I mean, no matter where we put it, we still had this hum. And I agree, she has a hum, and it's caused by the fan slap, kind of like a helicopter. You know, you hear the boom, 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 boom of a helicopter. That's what this thing does constantly. Okay, she even put a mattress in front of her window on the inside to try to block the sound. Okay, then I built a 6-foot wide, 6-foot high sound barrier on the discharge side of the unit. And I have a picture of that. And this is what it looked like, if you can see. Now, you can even see the board over her window on the outside. Now, this was not just a cheap wall. This was a double-sided picket fence with rock wool insulation in between. It's a very good sound barrier. Did not work, did nothing. Made it worse. She claimed it made it worse. I took it down. Then the fence material I had, I built a solid wall, just temporary, behind the unit, thinking that's the problem, right? I built it, put it all the way to the ceiling of my porch. This is on a porch. It made no difference. I agree with her. It made no difference. I had another installing company come out, and he went and he said it was the suction line making the noise. Okay, I didn't really believe him, so I'm a retired electrician, so I know what I'm doing here. I disconnected the compressor wires so only the fan would run when the unit was on. I only did this for a short time. It confirmed that it's nothing to do with the compressor. Got to do with the fan. The fan just draws so much air and it makes this little slap noise and it echoes between our houses. So then the American Standard rep mentioned that he says, what you should do is turn this unit 90 degrees so it's blowing not towards your wall, it'll be blowing towards my back wall. And I have a very good picture of that one too. And this is the way I turned it. This is what it looks like now. Guess what? Made no difference. and this was a $425 move for me. So, and you know, to this point, I'm getting so frustrated. I kind of wish I had my old unit back. It was 17 years old. It served me well. We're in Arizona. These things run hard. And it's a heat pump, so it runs in the wintertime too. Okay, now we get to the fun part. About a month ago, I get a letter from her lawyer for a cease and desist order. And I was going to be fined by who, I don't know, $2,500 a day until it's fixed. She wanted it moved. So I moved it because I thought moving it would placate her, but it didn't. It made it worse, right? The cease and desist order is, it's lawyer speak to get you scared, of course. You know, the lawyer has no right to fine you. I don't know who I'd write the check to. My wife. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking that the next thing is going to be a lawsuit. And I'm thinking that if she's going to sue anybody, she should go after American Standard, because they're the one that are making this piece of equipment that is not quiet. If you look on American Standard videos, be it YouTube, whatever, they show these things and they say your neighbor is going to. In fact, I'll quote you on this. One says your neighbors will be so happy that you bought such a quiet unit. Yeah, well, not my neighbor. And these things are actually made for close quarters. That's what they were designed for. So because if you don't have a lot of room between houses, let's say you only got 4 feet, well, you're going to put a 3-foot round, AC unit there. You can't even walk through hardly, right? So that's what they're made for, and they gotta be quiet. There's got to be something wrong with this unit. I can't believe that there's not. What else can I say? I have another picture. You can kind of see the little tunnel behind the thing. This is where the sound reverberates because of this fan. It sounds like a helicopter flying over. Something's got to be done. My installing company is, when I said to move it, I says, where are you going to move it to? And he says, wherever you want it. Well, this is exactly the place that the American Standard rep here in Tucson says I should move it. And that's what I did. She wanted it up on the roof of my porch. Well, my homeowners association wasn't real wild about that. And I can see why. I can only mention that every time I've tried to call American Standard and get somebody to address my issue, all I do is get somebody that knows how to fix a toilet or a kitchen sink, because American Standard makes all this stuff. I can never get anybody. I even called the factory in Tyler, Texas. And again, I just got somebody that knew how to fix a sink. And that's where they make the air conditioners. So I don't know what the deal is. My solution is, if I had it to do over again, I would have bought the variable speed unit, which is the fan will only go as fast as it has to go, not just full blast all the time. But I really didn't think there would be a problem with this unit. Now the solution would be, I don't know if American Standard could come up with a variable speed device for this unit, like an add-on. I could think of one, but it's not something I would do and put my unit out of warranty. Possibly a different design of a blade that would move enough air to satisfy this condensing unit. They could just, I don't know, replace the unit if they think there's something wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with the unit because I know the compressor is not making the noise because I ran the unit without the compressor hooked up, and the noise was still there 100%. My main goal is to make it quiet enough for my neighbor. I don't even turn the unit on anymore. I mean, it hasn't been on in a month. The weather down here is getting down in the 50s. I don't even turn my heat pump on because I know it's going to be like your company. It's going to be, instead of a pissed off consumer, it's going to be a pissed off neighbor. That is the main thing, is to get a quiet unit that doesn't have this reverberation noise. Never in my wildest dreams would I thought that this unit was going to make that kind of noise. I would have never bought it.